Okay, so I have this idea, crazy as it may be, of how to make some fire starters out of pine needles and pitch. So, at the bottom of this tree, there's a lot of pine needles. I'm just going to gather up a few. That's probably more than enough for what we have in mind. So, this may be a lengthy process for me, but it won't be for you. But I'm going to put the pine needles in this tin can. So, what we're going to do is take these pine needles and I'm going to snip off the pointed ends of them because they're very sharp. And I don't like to handle really sharp stuff with my bare hands, which is why I'm wearing gloves. After we snip them off, put them in that can until we have enough for the project. See, I want to kind of get them all lined up there. Snip off the needle part, the sharp end, and drop them in. So, I'm going to do that for a while till we get several. A fair amount in there. I think that's enough to do what I want to try. You see that? There's quite a few in there. That's enough for 3 or 4 examples of what I want to try to create with that. Next, we're going to harvest some pitch from a pine tree. And here we are at the old pine tree, and it's got lots of pitch all over it. We're going to harvest some of this right here. Drop into the pan. Some really fresh stuff there too. Yeah. Yeah, you can probably see it. Some of it anyway. Kind of like panning for gold, panning for pitch. Alright, now we'll move on to the next step. Okay, now for the next part we're going to need some string. This is like kite string, or it's just some real fine cotton string. And I'm just going to cut off a little piece of it. Now comes the reason why I cut off the sharp ends of those needles. Because I didn't want to be stuck with them. Literally. I'm going to try lining these up in kind of a row, more or less. So, let's see where we're going with this. It's kind of cold out here and my fingers are a little bit numb, so I don't know if I'll be able to manage this part very well. Doesn't look like it, does it? Yeah. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so we got them more or less lashed together there. I'm just tying a few overhand knots to keep them together because in the next step we won't have to worry about keeping them together, I don't think. And I think I'll just double that one and call it good. Now, we're not up in the mountains today, but as long as you had some kind of cordage with you and pine needles and a pine tree with some pitch on it, there isn't anything that we've done thus far that couldn't be accomplished in the woods. Okay. So we'll snip off the tag ends here, just so they don't get in the way. And we'll get ready for the next step. Okay, for the next step we're going to need this little alcohol burner and a little bit of fuel. And this is denatured alcohol, put in about an ounce or so. It might have been more than an ounce. Not standing on ceremony today with regard to lighting it, so we're going to use this lighter. And it's lit. So the alcohol burner is warming up. I'll move it to the side just a little. And here we have a can. Guess what we're going to do with that? I'll put some of this pine resin in it. Now this has got some debris, bark, and little pieces of needle, and some spiders, spider webs, a few other choice ingredients. So we're going to purify this pine resin. Look what it does when the little tiny particles get into that flame. That's pretty cool. I like that. Kind of like a fireworks show. Okay. Enough playing around, huh? We have a little bit more resin that we collected besides what was shown on the video. That'll probably do it. So, let's get this on the fire. I found with this particular alcohol burner and ones like it that I've made that we kind of have to lower the can slowly onto it to make sure the jets will work. And once it gets on there, it's usually not a problem. And we see quite a bit of smoke coming out of there already. And it smells like the piney woods. I'm going to move this over here a little bit because the other part of the process is going to involve a second can and handy little screen that we got at the dollar store. That'll fit right in there. I'm going to pour the melted pine pitch through that screen, and hopefully that will purify it of most of the debris that's in there. So it's got to cook for a while, and we'll come back when it's ready. If it's not, if the melting can is not covered with something, it bursts into flames. So kind of improvise a little way to keep that from happening. A little bit of melting going on in there, you can hear it sizzling. So put this foil over it and weight it down with another can, and that keeps it from bursting into flames. Okay, let's check the progress on the melt here. Yeah, it's getting there. Bubbling away down in there. I'm going to poke and prod it a little bit. Yeah, that helped. That helped. Smells like somebody's got a campfire going here with that smoke. Okay, I think we're melted enough now. I'm going to take this off. Move this can. Snuff the flame. So we're not working with a live flame around the melted pitch. I like the fact that it's retaining a nice yellow color there. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, so put the strainer. Make sure I can hang on to this because it's pretty hot. Here we go. Looks like there's still more down in there that didn't melt yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and melt the rest of it. And here is the purified pitch. Set that aside for now. Okay, we're ready to filter it again. Yeah, well, that's hot. Whoa. Alright, let's clear things out and do the next step. And now comes the fun part. This is starting to thicken up too, that's good. Put that down. And guess what? There's our little bundle of pine needles. And we're going to drizzle a little bit of pitch on them. May have to do this more than once, I don't know. So as an extra bonus added attraction, when this is all done, and I get it up off of the tin, the aluminum foil, I'll use it for a fire starter in the fireplace in our house, and we'll see how effective it is in that environment. No reason to think it would be any less effective in the woods. I'd like to be able to test it in terms of weatherproofness, but it's not raining out here. It's not going to be for the foreseeable future. That should do it.
It's Thanksgiving morning and it's cold here. We're in the house, in the hearth of our fireplace, and here is our fire starter that we made with the pine pitch. The fire's ready to go. I'm going to put this under here. And we're going to light it today with just a regular barbecue style butane lighter. So the wood is mostly willow. There's some cherry and some apple. And we'll see how it goes. By Jove. It's all about putting it in the right place, I guess. So, undoubtedly that would work in a campfire. That being the case, I hereby pronounce it a success and bid you all a happy Thanksgiving. Bye now.